The Keswick Convention, someone asked the little girl, "How do you overcome when you are tempted?" "Formerly, whenever the devil came knocking at my door," she reported, "I would immediately say, 'Don't you come in, don't you come in.' But this was always ended up in defeat.
Yeah.
Now, though, whenever the devil knocks at the door, I at once say to the Lord, 'Lord, you open the door.' The Lord goes forward to do so. And as soon as the devil sees the Lord, the devil says, 'Oh, I'm sorry. I have knocked at the wrong door.' And with that, he turns and flees."
That is so awesome.
Yeah. In the course of our being tempted, if we cry out, "Oh Lord, here comes temptation. Oh Lord, save me, save me," the devil will come in before the door is even opened.
Wow.
Today, leave it to the Lord to deal with the devil. The longer, the more anxious, and the more repetitious the prayer. I'm really yelling now. Okay. The firmer is the holding on of our hands. Okay, let me read that last sentence. The longer, the more anxious, and more repetitious the prayer, the firmer is the holding on of our hands.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're not meant to, that's why he tells us not to worry. Where we're not supposed to pray because, pray from a place of fear and panic and anxiety.
Right. Wow. One brother reminds us that when Peter was sinking, he merely cried out, "Lord, save me." Just ask simply in one sentence, and this will indicate you are taking your hands off. Oh.
Wow.
If you continue to cry out, saying, "Oh Lord, save me," repeating it many times, you are already defeated. I call such prayer hanging on prayer.
That makes sense.
The more you pray such prayer, the more it proves you have not let go, but are hanging on to the situation. You try to use prayer to attain victory.
Read that again. Read that again, because that one sentence would be like, that's how you attain victory. I know a lot of people who would go, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah.
That is how it's through prayer that we attain victory. I mean, that's...
See, and now you get why I was freaking out this morning in these little texts I was sending you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You try to use prayer to attain victory. You are still thinking of using your own strength to gain the triumph.
This is revolutionary. This is...
I know. Stop crying. And you will come into victory. Do remember that Satan wants you to be stirred up, even if you are bestirred to pray.
That's excellent.
You said that you were saying that yesterday.
Huh.
That you need to pray more. You need to spend more time to be able to have the right perspective. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Previously, you would burn when you heard any pricking words. Oh. What would you do today if someone were to prick on you insistently? If you were to say to the Lord, "Oh Lord, this is not my business. Victory is your business. I confess I cannot control my temper, but Lord, you are responsible." This would be called letting go. And the Lord would live out his patience through you. You could praise and thank God and say, "Lord, I could not care less." But suppose you felt you could no longer bear the provocation. And you pray, "Oh Lord, save me, for I am quickly losing my control." 15 minutes would pass like 15 hours. Now, although you would not explode outwardly, you would nonetheless be burning already within. And this would show you have not overcome.
Yeah. Yep. That was the old gaining ground in anger for me,
Hmm.
is that I would cry out to him, and I learned techniques on how to suppress my anger, my outbursts in the moment. I would learn to suppress them, and so I would breathe. Okay, Holy Spirit, Lord, please, and I would turn inward instead of exploding outward. But it would be, I mean, it would feel like torture throughout the whole thing, and it would feel, 15 minutes would feel like 15 hours because I would spend those 15 minutes just trying to figure out how on earth am I supposed to be calm in this situation, Lord, and all. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
And the suppression thing makes total sense to me.
Beautiful. Oh, Lord, this is so intense and good. No, now, although you would not explode outwardly, you would nonetheless be burning already within. And this would show you have not overcome. Satan does not seek for an explosion of your temper. He merely wants you to be agitated. And thus will he win.
Just think about that. Like, he wins at you just being agitated. You don't have to explode. You just have to be a little irked or frustrated or...
Because it brings you in. As long as he can bring you in. Yeah. God, that's awesome. Revelation.
Yeah.
And revolution.
Yeah, this is...
Victory is when you are not stirred up to do.
Yeah.
Victory means you pay no attention. It means you could not care less. Your calmness, aloofness, and carelessness are rightfully called a letting go. Victory does not depend upon you, since you have already died. Instead, it is Christ who gains the victory for you. You have died, and Christ lives, and this is called victory.
That's it. It's not getting victory, it's knowing you have victory. That's why we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything because the victory is already won. So we don't have to care, we don't have to engage, we don't have to get involved because we already have the victory. And when we continue to believe that we're gaining ground for victory, that we must do in order to have victory, that keeps us engaged.
Yes.
And then we're constantly losing.
And then
because
we're constantly...
the truth is, we already have the
Our
victory.
head is in it.
Yeah. That's
Man.
nuts.
Wow. Okay. At the conference in Sheffield, many brothers and sisters crossed the threshold to victory. One sister had a tragic past. Her husband, as well as her mother-in-law, ill-treated her. She patiently endured, but had no victory. As I spoke on the life that wins, she accepted the truth. But 2 days later, she came to see me about the way of letting go and letting God. She did not understand how. So I asked the Lord to give me a helpful illustration. Have you ever visited a friend by taxi? I asked. Yes, I have, she said. When the car arrives at your friend's door, and just as you are taking money out of your pocket, your friend hurries out the door to pay for it. You want to pay, but your friend wants to pay for you. You return the money to her, but she gives it right back to you. Has there ever been such a scene in your own experiences? Yes, indeed. Now suppose after she paid the 20 cents fare for you, this is obviously back in the 1800s.
1800s or 1950s.
Yeah. Supposing after she paid the 20 cents fare for you, the driver takes it and leaves, and you have your visit with your friend. But because you had still not wanted her to spend her money for you, you suddenly thrust 20 cents into your friend's hand as you are leaving. And as she sees you out at the end of the visit, however, she quickly thrusts the money back into your hand. But then you both pass the money back and forth between yourselves until finally you leave the money on the street and say to your friend that you are leaving. Even so, you wonder if your friend will pick up the money. What if she does not, and a passerby should take it? What if a driver should pick it up, or a little child would see it and take it? You therefore stealthily look back and see if your friend has retrieved it. To your chagrin, she has not picked it up. As you walk on, you cast another look back behind you. Let me tell you, if you periodically continue to look back, your friend will never pick up the money for sure. But if you were to leave the money on the street and say to your friend that the money was there for her to pick up, and then you walk away without caring the slightest who would get it, without a doubt your friend would pick it up. Okay, Bud. Okay, I'm coming. As I finished saying this, she understood, and accordingly she entered into the life that wins. Okay, now it explains it, because I'm like, oh, I don't think I got it. The above example is unfortunately how many commit themselves to God.
Yes.
On the one hand, they say they cannot. On the other hand, they worry and look. If you care, God will let you take care and will not take over. But if you do not care, God will care for you and take the whole responsibility on himself. Yielding is letting go, and letting go is a putting the money on the street and going away without looking back.
Yeah.
You could not care less whether a little child, a taxi driver, or a passerby should pick it up. You simply you simply tell God you have committed it all to him, so that hereafter, whether you are bad or good, is not your business anymore. In so committing yourself, God will certainly take over. All is well if you simply give up to him.
So it's not the perspective of going, I've given this to you, you have to have it. As a friend, I'm thinking of the friend with the money on the ground and is waiting for that person to pick it up. You have to pick it up. It's for you. It's for you. It's not a mentality of going, that's yours, you need to pick it up. It's going, that's not mine.
Yes, okay.
So that now it's not attached to this person has to pick it up because it's for you. It's not for anybody else. It's for you. Or you're going to do it. But it's just going, that's not mine. Meant for you, but it doesn't matter. That's just not mine. So you walk away and it doesn't matter who picks it up because it's just no longer yours. That's the perspective. So we're not talking about the context of now it doesn't matter who picks it up because the Lord will take care of it. But it's not what I see it as. Like before, I would go, God, I give this to you. Do something, do something, do something. You know, I'm struggling with this. Do it, do it, do it. Fix it, fix it, fix it. Help. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the money. Are you gonna get it? Are you gonna pick it up? Can you pick it up now? Please, it's yours. Can you pick it up, please? But now I go, that's not mine.
Gosh, it's so hard.
And then I just get to walk away and he takes care of it and it doesn't matter because I trust him and he will. But I'm not going, oh, it's still there. I'm still looking at it. There it is. Why haven't you grabbed it yet? Please grab it. I'm waiting. Needs to change. Go grab, that sort of thing. But now I can just go, yours. Okay. And then I walk off and my focus is that's not mine. Not do something. You know? It's the release of it. It's releasing it, not going, do something. You know?
Take it now. And
just going,
put it in your pocket right now.
Yeah. That's a control thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm guilty of that so much.
Old stuff.
Yeah.